While many were unwrapping their gifts at home this morning, officers with the Athens Police Department hit the streets with a mission to serve the community. Officers spreading a little extra holiday cheer to local kids by giving away toys. Just look at how excited these kids were. Fox 54's Logan Alexander Russell caught a ride with officers as they handed out toys.
For kids, Santa's elves typically live at the North Pole, but this morning in Athens, they were spotted wearing badges and driving patrol cars. The sight of blue lights in the rearview mirror is typically a dreaded sight, but this Christmas, those lights were for toys. The Athens Police Department spent the morning patrolling for joy, looking for children to surprise with free toys. Officers say seeing the kids' faces light up is rewarding.
Seeing the kids happy, they're so excited, and especially when they open up the vehicle and they see all the presents inside it, and they just see all of them. They know they get to pick whichever one they want. You know, they enjoy it, and I enjoy seeing that.
Officers delivered thousands of dollars worth of toys, including action figures, bicycles, basketballs, and baseball bats to children waiting outside.
Every year we go out and give out gifts. We get gifts donated to us, a lot of gifts donated to us to give out. And this year we had a good bit of money donated to us, and we purchased several $1,000s worth of presents. So for the last couple hours this morning, we've been giving out gifts to kids.
The department says their mission goes beyond the badge. It's about building a bridge between the station house and the front porch, because for these officers, protecting the community also means investing and bringing smiles. From Athens, Logan Alexander Russell, Fox 54 News.
For some people, Christmas morning is calm and quiet. But for the staff at City Cafe Diner, it was go, go, go. With the line stretching out the door, City Cafe Diner was one of the few Huntsville restaurants open on Christmas Day. City Cafe Diner has been serving the community since 2012, and from the very beginning, they've made it a point to stay open on Christmas Day. This year was no different, with a special holiday menu and a full case of desserts ready for customers looking for a warm meal. The owner says opening their doors on Christmas is a tradition they're proud to continue.
They anticipate this day because a lot of people don't want to cook at home, or they have a lot of people to cook for, so they'd rather come here, get comfortable, get served some warm meals, Christmas specials, and that's what it's all about, celebrating like one big family.
Customers packed the restaurant throughout the day. One man told me he drove all the way from Gunnersville after being unable to find any other restaurant open. Others, like the Colemans, say City Cafe Diner has become a regular part of their routine.
On a bad week, I come 6 times a week. On a good week, it's 7 times a week. We know everybody. Great service. And they're all like friends.
Not everybody has family that they can go visit, and not everybody wants to cook a big meal, but they might like to enjoy a good meal.
Christmas Day also brought in some first-time customers, including those just looking for a quick bite before heading to holiday dinner.
My parents are going to cook a big meal later, but I'm a foodie, so I was like, I need to have a snack right now. I'm going to have some coffee, a little dessert. Yeah, should hold me over.
City Cafe Diner is also known for its extensive dessert selection, featuring cakes, pies, and even traditional Greek desserts, which Francine Garcia was eager to try.
First time trying baklava at City Cafe Diner. We'll get a taste test, a little ASMR. 10 out of 10. Best Christmas Day gift ever.
Was a full holiday meal or just a sweet treat, City Cafe Diner gave many a place to gather, share a meal, and celebrate Christmas Day together. For the 5th year in a row, a Huntsville church is making Christmas Mass more accessible. St. Mary of the Visitation Catholic Church continues its sensory-friendly service designed to create a calmer, more comfortable worship experience. A sensory-friendly Mass adjusts the traditional service by lowering lights, limiting loud sounds, and eliminating incense, creating a quieter, more relaxed environment.
People will jokingly talk about a Catholic Mass. They'll say the smells and the bells. Obviously, we ring the bells at very significant times, and then also we talk about the smells, and usually speaking, that's incense. It's a very fragrant type of, almost like a perfumed smell. And, those can kind of be very overwhelming. Likewise with music, particularly oftentimes if you think of a very nice organ piece. We have a big organ in here. Not the largest organ, but you feel a vibration in an organ.
There are some people, including young children and those with sensory sensitivities, who may struggle with loud music, strong scents, or busy environments. This Mass offers a calmer option.
In a time and place where we're much more sensitive towards the needs of others, is a tremendous opportunity to say all are welcome in this moment, to come in and really to have something very welcoming and caring for all.
With its first cornerstone laid in 1861, St. Mary of the Visitation has a long history, and parishioners say the church has continued to evolve to meet the needs of its community.
The church has changed a lot. It's been renovated at least twice since we've been here, so it looks a lot different on the inside. The campus outside has changed quite a bit too.
Built more than a century ago, the church was not originally designed with accessibility or modern needs in mind, making recent updates and adaptations even more meaningful for parishioners today.
If we look out front, we see these long, big stairs. That's obviously good for someone who can make it up a bunch of stairs, but the last priest here, Father Joy, he actually installed a handicap accessible ramp over there. That way people can come in, don't have to worry about like a big lift or any type of thing.
Parishioners say these changes help remove barriers and make worship more accessible for all. St. Mary of the Visitation has grown from about 150 families to nearly 700 in the last 5 years and says it will continue adapting to serve its community.
One local family is making a difference this Christmas, distributing gifts to over 600 families in Hazel Green, and it's all to keep one local legacy alive. FOX54's Caleb Agual shows us how the Thomas family is acting as Santa's helpers this holiday season.
Walk inside this little storefront and you'll hear the sound of another family getting the help they need. This is Santa's Helpers, where founder Gary Thomas was giving out gifts to children for almost 30 years. He passed away from pancreatic cancer in October, leaving behind his family and a warehouse with thousands of gifts. His dying wish to see that the toy distribution keeps going. To him, it was critical to help families that can't afford a massive celebration.
A lot of these families can't afford to buy for their families. Can't afford furniture if they have a fire, they need help. Domestic violence, a lot of women leave with nothing but the clothing on their back. And it's gotten to where thrift shops are so expensive, people just can't afford to buy it. So we don't make any requirements unless there's a need.
Gary's widow, Barbara Thomas, is continuing the giveaway this Christmas. She says it's really all about the kids.
It doesn't matter what problems the parents are having. What matters is the kids. The kids deserve something.
Thomas also says Gary would take used toys and repair each one by hand, meticulously making sure each toy worked just right for the kid that got it.
He had to make sure every used toy worked perfectly good. He would play with the guitars, he would wear the hats, he would sing to karaoke machines. He had to check out everything.
To him, the important part was making sure every child had a Christmas.
He just thought if he could change one child's life by doing something good, it was well worth it.
And for a local Santa Claus like Gary Thomas, just doing something good can have a lasting legacy. In Hazel Green, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
The family is keeping the distribution going, but they're struggling to stay open past March because of the rising costs to operate. Thomas says they're looking for clothes, boys' toys, and financial assistance. You can help out by checking the family's GoFundMe page, which you can find on fox54.com.
The holidays can be tough for some families, so when community partners in Decatur heard about a family in need during this season of giving, the gifts came in truckloads. Fox 54's Gabe Glassman takes us to Decatur.
Usually when you hear sirens and see flashing lights come down the road, it's not the best of news. But this family was in for a surprise of a lifetime.
Some unexpected circumstances over the Christmas holidays, and so we've teamed up with numerous businesses and folks from around the city, and we're going to go hopefully give them a blessing.
Someone reached out to tell the story of De'Erica Ware.
I just lost a child a year ago. A son. I went in labor early, and so I did lose a baby, but I have my 6 nieces and nephews. We didn't have to ask anybody anything. We didn't have to tell anybody anything. God knew, and he sent the people.
After hearing her story, Decatur Fire and Rescue and community partners showing up in a big way. Cars and trucks filled with presents, resulting in a beautiful moment.
As first responders, you're always giving of yourself and helping others, and this is just an extension of that. Anytime there's kids involved and we're able to hopefully bring a smile to their face, that's our mission.
It's not just about Christmas, it's about, each day. Each day above ground is a good day, and so we like to celebrate every day. And so they seeing it just now, how God has just been showing out each day throughout this complete season. It's blessing me because it's like they get to see it. We believe it, then kids get to see it. Being able to show the kids that the community care about them, that God cares about them, that God is faithful, and that He is doing great, things through so many people. And just to be able to see Jesus in people is just beautiful.
And with hands filled with presents, this family also left with a memory for a lifetime. From Decatur, Gabe Glassman, Fox 54 News.
What a beautiful story. Well, the fun didn't stop after the surprise arrival. The family was then taken to the local Texas Roadhouse to enjoy a Christmas dinner. The holidays are here, and that means decorating our homes with festive cheer. But if you have pets, you may have heard warnings about certain holiday plants. One claim in particular has persisted for decades that poinsettias can kill your cat or dog. With millions of these plants sold each season, pet owners want to know the truth. Are poinsettias deadly to pets? We verify. Poinsettias are one of the most popular holiday plants. Their colorful leaves can range from a creamy white to bright red. But for years, people have claimed the plant is lethal to cats and dogs. Recent online search trends show people are still wondering about that claim as they decorate for the holidays. So let's verify. Are poinsettias deadly to your pets? Our sources are the ASPCA, Science Direct, the American Kennel Club, and the Pet Poison Helpline. Snap open a leaf on the plant and its milky white sap will ooze out. The chemicals in the sap are similar to those found in detergents. If cats and dogs consume them, they may experience gastrointestinal irritation such as nausea, vomiting, drooling, and sometimes diarrhea. Contact with the sap can also cause skin irritations and include redness, swelling, and itchiness. But all four of our sources agree. The chemicals found in the plant sap are only mildly toxic to pets, not fatal. The Pet Poison Helpline website says claims about pet poisoning from the plant sap are, quote, greatly exaggerated. The Science Direct adds that there are no known deaths from poinsettias ingestion in pets. So where did this myth come from? Experts believe it started from a single unverified case reported over a century ago, and the claim has persisted ever since. So we can verify that no, poinsettias aren't deadly to pets, but consuming the sap and the plant leaves is still not good for them. So to be safe, the American Kennel Club recommends keeping poinsettias out of your pet's reach during the holiday season. The ASPCA says holly and mistletoe, which can cause gastrointestinal irritation as well as cardiovascular problems when ingested, should also be kept out of your pet's reach.
As winter temperatures drop, many homeowners are turning to portable fireplaces to heat their homes. These trendy devices promise ambiance and warmth without the hassle of a traditional fireplace, but they could be putting your family at risk. Are portable fireplaces safe to use indoors? Let's verify. Portable fireplaces that run on ethanol or isopropyl alcohol are growing in popularity because they don't require chimneys, but that lack of ventilation raises serious questions about safety and carbon monoxide poisoning. So, are portable fireplaces safe to use indoors? We verify. Our sources are the National Fire Protection Association and Huntsville Fire and Rescue's Assistant Fire Marshal, Jerry Tanner. While these products provide ambiance and a little warmth, the fuel and open flame can be dangerous. Huntsville Fire and Rescue's Jerry Tanner also warns about the carbon monoxide risk.
They're portable indoor fireplaces, and they run on isopropyl alcohol. It produces a small flame, it's regulated, but nonetheless, you have an open flame in your house without any type of venting. It is possible that you could get a buildup of carbon monoxide in your house.
Carbon monoxide is an invisible, colorless, odorless gas that can kill without warning. Symptoms of carbon monoxide poisoning include headache, nausea, vomiting, fatigue, chest pain, weakness, dizziness, and confusion. Because these symptoms mimic the flu, carbon monoxide is often called the silent killer. The National Fire Protection Association recommends cracking a window for a fresh supply of air when using these devices. Tanner also emphasizes the importance of having carbon monoxide detectors and smoke detectors in your home, and he recommends changing the batteries every 6 months. He also recommends doing your homework before buying one and making sure the fireplace is UL listed, meaning it has been tested for safety. So, we can verify that yes, portable fireplaces are safe to use indoors, but only when proper safety precautions are followed, including installing carbon monoxide detectors, ensuring proper ventilation, and buying UL-listed devices. If you have something you want us to verify, you can text us at 256-382-2692. Automatic license plate readers have caused concerns of privacy for months in the Tennessee Valley. You may not notice them all the time, but these small cameras can be found across the country and here in Huntsville. One group continues to push for more transparency on the use. In Big Spring Park Sunday afternoon, a small crowd gathering, also walking together looking up at these cameras. This is a flock camera. It's one of the many different variations of an automatic license plate reader, which track, you guessed it, license plates. This group, including Will Freeman, who created the dflock.me website, met to talk about their concerns.
Before, you'd see license plate readers maybe like on a major highway every 20 miles or so. And they were mostly trying to see if a car was here at a certain time. But then you have places like Huntsville and other cities where there are really high density of these things at almost every major intersection. And that doesn't just tell you hey, someone was in the city. That tells you somebody was here and then here and then here. And then it's almost like having a GPS tracker on your car.
This tech isn't new, and it's been a tool law enforcement have used in the past. Kurt Warshek, director of the North Alabama Multi-Agency Crime Center, spoke on the asset earlier this year.
I think that's a huge thing for the citizens to know that it truly is impactful. But in the same light, I think it's just as important for them to know that it's not tracking people. The system doesn't even have the capacity to track people. So it really is to our benefit to continue to deploy these kinds of systems to help us reduce crime in the city.
However, those concerns Freeman mentioned earlier still remain. He says more transparency would help.
Transparency is one step in the right direction. Another one would be regulation. These things are largely unregulated. Huntsville is not a particularly dangerous place. Yeah, I know there's crime. There's crime everywhere. It can be worse in some areas than others, but cameras are kind of a poor solution to that. They don't protect from anything. They do provide evidence after the fact, but yeah, it's a really high potential for abuse.
One relatively new city to see flock cameras is Madison. Their city council approved more than $86,000 to have the license plate readers back in March.
A major facelift is coming to the I-65 corridor as the city of Athens looks to build a $34 million shopping center, a big item approved at tonight's city council session. The Swan Creek retail development is currently planned for the south end of Brawley Boulevard, just blocks away from the intersection of I-65 and Highway 72. The goal, to make it a central commercial hub. Fox 54's Caleb Aguayo takes us to the site.
More development is making its way to Athens after the city council unanimously approved a massive new investment tonight. City officials say it'll spur a ton of new economic activity. The developer, Swan Creek LLC, is planning a retail shopping center right next to Interstate 65 and Highway 72. The project is expected to include Hobby Lobby and the possibility of stores like Burlington, Academy, Books A Million, PetSmart, and Home Goods. They're set to attract dozens of jobs, thousands of drivers, and millions of dollars in sales as the city eyes even more growth. To meet the infrastructure needs, the city will be working alongside AlDOT on road improvements in the area, planning to use grant funding to get everything ready for construction. But there's no timeline just yet, with some of those involved saying it's just getting started and could be years down the line. Local leaders also say the shopping center will be a huge new addition for the growing number of residents here in Athens. Take a listen.
We've got a lot of work to do, the infrastructure work, but it's an exciting time, and we're growing along with the whole North Alabama area and the city of Huntsville and Madison and Decatur and others. So we're just excited to be a part of it. And again, as I say, keep your local dollars local and shop local.
The latest figures put the development at right around $34 million. It's projected to bring the city about $30 million per year. In Athens, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
Mayor Marks estimates the project could take 2 years to finish, but he says that's based on a rough outline with plenty of variables. Huntsville residents in the Western Corridor are getting an early holiday gift from the city. Officials cut the ribbon today on the new West Huntsville Recreation Center off Martin Road Southwest. The 27,000 square foot facility features 2 gyms for basketball and pickleball, along with multi-purpose rooms for community events and a fitness center. District 5 Councilmember John Meredith says the center is a major step forward in bringing the community together.
This is the first public building space that's available for the various neighborhoods to meet. And I'm really hoping that that allows them to form new friendships with members of neighbors of different communities and create that sense of West Huntsville that we've never actually been able to have before.
Very exciting. Well, it's important to note that the rec center located off of Martin Road, just west of Zert Road. And if you're traveling to the center, using Google Maps is recommended as it has the new address. Alliance CEO Tory Bruno is resigning from his position. He's been with the company for more than a decade. We've learned that ULA board chairs Robert Lightfoot and Kay Sears say in a statement, quote, after nearly 12 years leading United Launch Alliance ULA, current ULA president and CEO Tory Bruno has resigned to pursue another opportunity, end quote. We are grateful for Tory's service to ULA and the country, and we thank him for his leadership. It's been a busy 12 years for Bruno. He helped retire the Delta IV and Atlas V rockets and oversaw the creation of the new Vulcan rocket. Fox 54 got a tour of ULA's Decatur facility back in April, Bruno displaying the production line for the Vulcan and Atlas rockets. And this past April, Fox 54 also got to see the significant modernization, which included a $500 million investment, automating 80% of the production process. During the tour, Bruno spoke highly about the Decatur facility.
This part of Alabama has a rich rocketry heritage all the way back to Apollo. I wouldn't do this anywhere else. The workforce here cares about our missions. Yeah, we love rockets because rockets are cool, but really the rocket has no intrinsic value. It's what the rocket is taken into space. I told you that we spent $500 million modernizing this factory. All of that stuff is meaningless and has no value without the keyboard to operate it. This is a place to be.
Former ULA Chief Operating Officer John Elbin, pictured here, now sits in the interim CEO role. He was responsible for the Atlas, Delta, and Vulcan Centaur launch vehicle programs, and he's been with ULA since 2018. We have an inside look at ULA in Decatur and a full conversation with Tory Bruno, available to watch now on Fox 54 Plus. Download on your TV, watch for free.
A Tuscaloosa mother is seeking justice for her son 2 years after his death during a police traffic stop. Jaquia Clark has filed a $100 million federal lawsuit against the city of Tuscaloosa, its police department, and the West Alabama Narcotics Task Force. Her son, Tristan Clark, was shot and killed in 2023 in Tuscaloosa. The family's attorney says Clark was shot 4 times at close range in his upper body and head. The lawsuit claims Clark wasn't causing any problems and had his hands in the air. Police at the time said there was a struggle during the investigation, but the family's attorney disputes that account. Now, Clark's family, including his 3 young children, are hoping for answers in the courtroom.
They're going to put a very defense, use every means necessary to them to try to avoid liability in this case. Tristan Clark lost his life. He was killed by the officer, who we believe was Officer Ray, who fired 4 shots at close range into Tristan Clark's upper body and head. We don't believe, based on our investigations, based on people we've talked to, that the struggle happened the way the investigators said it happened.
McDaniel says there's no body camera footage of the incident because it wasn't required for narcotics officers in 2023. The Alabama legislative session begins in just a few weeks, and dozens of bills have already been pre-filed. More than 130, to be exact, from the House and Senate are waiting to be read. One of the first will be House Bill 78. This legislation hones in on screen time for children.
The earliest years of a child's life, birth to 5, are the most important period of brain development that child will ever experience.
State Representative Gina Ross is one of the legislators who filed House Bill 78 for the upcoming legislative session. She's a former educator herself, previously serving as the state's Secretary of Early Childhood Education.
We've seen a lot of excessive screen use over the years. It seems to be getting worse.
The CDC says screen time for kids under 2 years old should be avoided. The American Academy of Pediatrics says 2 to 5 year olds should be limited to an hour of screen time per day. HB 78 will require new guidelines surrounding screen time for kids in kindergarten, pre-K, and daycare. Those guidelines include no screen time for kids under 2 years old. For ages 2 to 4, screen time will be limited to 30 minutes per day or 90 minutes per week.
Part of this bill is that teachers will receive training. You know, a lot of times people just don't know what is the best way to do things. And I know teachers. I've worked with them my whole career. And they always want to do what's best and right for children. And so having this training and teaching them other strategies and things to do instead of a screen is going to be important.
Under the proposed legislation, the Department of Early Childhood Education would develop guidelines defining high-quality programming for educational settings and distribute guidelines for parents about healthy screen practices at home.
This is not to be restrictive or a ban or that sort of thing. It's to offer them support in ways to best interact with children. You know, what's appropriate, what's the best way to have that child play, talk, learn self-regulation. Those are the things that are the foundations of learning, and it matters the rest of their life.
Ross believes HB 78 could set a standard not just for the Yellowhammer State, but for other states as well. If passed, the bill will be implemented in January 2027.
Now, Fox 54's Top Teacher, sponsored by Calhoun Community College.
I'm excited to introduce this week's Fox 54's Top Teacher. Not only was she nominated once, she was nominated twice, and by parents. We got to catch her just before the holidays. Her name is Katrina Campbell, 4th grade teacher from Owens Crossroads Elementary School. Here's the moment she was surprised.
I'd like to take this moment to recognize Miss Katrina Campbell as Fox 54 top teacher. Congratulations.
A hearty congratulations to Mrs. Katrina Campbell. She's been teaching for a total of 19 years and has been around the world, including South Korea and Alaska, but has made Owens Crossroads Elementary her home. This is her 3rd year at OCR. Campbell says 4th grade is her favorite.
It's my heart grade. I've done all the grades, K through 8, except for 5th. And I was 3rd grade for my first 2 years at OCR, so I rolled up with this group of babies, and 4th is just my favorite because they're able to joke with you, they're able to be independent, but still love school and get excited for anything that you throw at them.
Her 4th graders love her too. We spoke with the kids of the parents who nominated Mrs. Campbell, Amelia and Adam. Here's why they like her.
I got to be in her class last year and this year. It's always fun, and if you're really nice to her, she's nice to you, but if you're bad to her, she's even worse. When I'm sad, she'll comfort me, and she'll let me draw when I want to, if I'm like stressed.
Oh yeah, a well-deserved award for Mrs. Campbell. Check out the full clip of her surprise as a Fox 54 top teacher and her full interview on Fox 54 Plus, and of course, nominated teacher on fox54.com.
Fox 54 Plus has your news, sports, and weather. Start your evening with Fox 54 at 5:30, delivering the latest headlines and live reports straight from the scene. Then, stay informed with Fox 54 News at 9, featuring your Tennessee Valley certified most accurate weather impact team, tracking everything from tornado threats to traffic delays during severe weather. Fox 54 Sports Extra brings you more of what sports fans crave, with deeper insights, expert analysis, and all the action that matters most. On Fox 54 Plus, you'll also find Alabama politics, plus 24/7 weather radar and real-time forecasts to keep you ahead of the storm. Looking for a quick recap? Don't miss Fox 54 Week in Review, highlighting the biggest stories of the week. Jumpstart your morning with Morning Rush. Fast-paced news updates, featured with uplifting stories from across the globe. Get your entertainment fix with Getting Real, where we break down movie reviews, top 10 lists, and spotlight the newest film. Die Hard fan? Locked On Sports dives deep into the Crimson Tide, the Tigers, college rivalries, and pro action. True Crime Warrior Style? Killer Cases brings you gripping real-life stories that stick with you. Hungry for more? Cooking with Style serves up mouth-watering recipes that are easy to make and impossible to resist. From movie previews before you head to the theater with Take a Look, to must-know headlines from across the region and around the world with In the News. Watch all of these shows on demand and also on the Fox 54 News app. Available on Android and iOS devices. Streaming 24/7.